to thank you so much for all your wishes. It's really kind of all of you. Uh, but it's time to focus on Shakespeare and not on me. So we were doing all the world's a stage, and we had finished certain stanzas of the poem. So I will revise that for all of you once, so that we get a hang of it, and we can then resume from where we left the last time. So all the world's a stage is a monologue written by the great writer William Shakespeare, who's also unofficially the greatest poet, or you can say the father of English literature in England. And this poem was taken from his play called As You Like It. And in this monologue, William Shakespeare has metaphorically described a lot of things about life. So I request all of you, first of all, to please stop chatting. We have started with the lecture. We will have enough time in the end where we can have a conversation. All right, let's continue with this. So, um, in this poem, William Shakespeare has metaphorically compared life to a stage. All right, I hope you all know what's metaphor. Metaphor is an indirect comparison between two unlike objects. So, he's compared life with a stage. He's compared our entrances and exits with our life and death, with our birth and death. All right, and he's done a lot of metaphorical comparison throughout the poem. So, as per this poem, there are 7 stages that an individual or a human being has to go through. All right, and we started with the first stage that day. I'll just put up the text for you. So, just give me a moment. Here it is, the text. You can zoom in, zoom out as per your convenience. All right. So, I just revise it for you. All the world's stage, as all the world's stage begins, we are dragged to a stage. It is like we are the audience. It is like we are the audience and we are watching a drama on the stage right in front of our eyes. So we start with the first act. Okay, so the man begins his act on the stage as an infant, as a newborn child, where he pukes, he vomits in the arms of his nurse, and he mewls, that is, he cries to be in the comfort of his mother. The second act is about a school going boy. So the second act starts right when he turns into a school going boy who is unwilling to go to school and unwilling to take the responsibility of being a student. The third act then comes when he turns into a lover. His lover is the only person he sees dancing in front of his eyes. For him, there is absolutely no other place that can comfort him than the eyebrow of his lover. So here we have a phrase that says sighing like a furnace, which has two meanings. One, uh, it's a bit of a good fire, a happy fire within him, and another is when he loses his lover and he writes those sad songs, those ballads, to describe the beauty of the beloved. And that's why the eyebrows, basically. All right. The fourth act of the poem portrays that the man is a soldier, and soldier as in a young person. His beard depicts all those strange oaths that he takes to protect his own life and his career, and all the men and women living in it. No doubt he quarrels. He also maintains his dignity to create and develop his reputation in front of others around him. But what he forgets is that his reputation that he's trying to build around himself is actually a temporary one. And that is the toughest stage of his life. And then we also finish the fifth stage, where the person turns into justice, that is a wise man, एक समझदार इंसान, जो हमारे parents के age के लोग हैं. This person is the one who knows what is good and what is right and what is wrong and what is bad. At this stage, he is perhaps the best person to approach to find out who is correct and who is wrong. तो ये स्टेज के इंसान ने इतना एक्सपीरियंस किया होता है, इतनी गलतियां की होती है लाइफ में, दैट अगर आपको कुछ भी लाइफ में गाइडेंस चाहिए, सो दिस एज का पीपल आर द बेस्ट पीपल टू गो टू. The fifth stage comes into his life as he enters the stage of pantaloons, where he has a high status in the society, and yet he's greedy for more. And this stage does not remain for long in his life. So that's where we are right now. We are done with the fifth stage, and now we will start with the sixth one. All right. I hope you have your pens and pencils with you to write the meanings. So we are supposed to start with the sixth age. So let's begin. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved a world to wide for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice, turning yet turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. All right. So this is the biggest stanza of the entire poem. So here in the sixth stage, this justice, this wise man with fair on belly, turns into a lean. Please write the meaning of the word lean. Lean means slim or thin. The word lean means slim, SLIM, or thin. Okay. He turns into a slim or a thin kind of a person, and slippered pantaloon. The word slippered is basically because he doesn't wear shoes anymore. He wears those slippers, and pantaloons are pants. So slippered pantaloons has two meanings here. One, pantaloons, that is pants with slippers, or second, loose pantaloons. Okay, loose. Loose is a little, dealer types. Okay, so if you see your grandparents, especially the ones who are in their 60s and maybe late 60s, they usually do not wear those tight fitting clothes. It's not that they don't wear those tight fitting clothes, it's just that the body has reduced now. They're not as healthy and as strong looking as they used to be once upon a time. Okay, now because their appetite to eat food has gone down. Appetite is actually the extent to which you can eat, your limitation to eat. तो जो limitation है वो कम हो गई है, ज़्यादा खा नहीं पाते, ज़्यादा भूख नहीं लगती उनको, थोड़ा बीमार रहते हैं, and that's why they turn into lean and slippered pantaloon. Loose pants is what they wear, with spectacles on nose and pouch on sides. And they usually wear their spectacles on nose. Why? Because they find it really difficult to read. And people who have problems with reading usually have those reading spectacles. और उसका जो lens होता है is usually towards the bottom left and right corner of the spectacle of the glass. And that's why they put it on the nose and they read, because their eyesight is getting weaker and feeble. And pouch on side. Pouch is could be a little bag on their side. Why do they have it? Because as they grow older and older and older, they become a little more insecure with things in life, and that's, and also कैसा होता है ना, थोड़ा इंसान भूलने लग जाता है. ठीक है, that's going to happen to each one of us. इंसान भूलने लग जाता है, and when you start forgetting things, you want to keep things handy. तो कभी चश्मा भूल गए, या कभी वॉलेट भूल गए, कभी चाबी भूल गए, या कभी कोई आपका इम्पोर्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट भूल गए. सो दे कीप अ पाउच विद देम wherever they go, so that they don't forget things. Then we go to the next line. His youthful hose. Youthful hose. Please write the meaning. Close fitting pants. Close fitting pants, or tight fitting pants. His youthful hose, his tight fitting pants, well saved. So, well saved means he has still saved those tight fitting pants. So, the pants that he used to wear when he was young, when he was fit, when he looked strong, when he had muscles, he still owns those pants. He hasn't thrown it away, okay? अभी भी घर पे रखा हुआ है. But those pants are world too wide for him now, because his legs have shrunk, okay? Because his body has shrunk, थोड़ा कम हो गया, reduce हो गया body. तो अब ये जो pant है, it's world too wide. A world too wide means extremely loose. You can write this. A world too wide means extremely loose. So his youthful pants, his tight-fitting pants, which he still saved with him, are now pretty loose. For his shrunk shank and his big manly voice. Shrunk, as I said, means reduced. Okay. Someone's unmuted, I think. For his shrunk shank, shrunk is reduced. Shank is the part of the leg which is between knee and ankle. हम उसको calf भी बोलते हैं. The backward part of that shank is called a calf. Okay, so shrunk shank is the part of the leg between knee and ankle. I hope knee किधर है पता आपको और ankle किधर है. अगर आपको पता है तो आपको ये part सही मिल जाएगा. So his legs have become thin and they've reduced in size. They're no more bulky, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. So once upon a time, his voice used to be manly, like Amitabh Bachchan. Now, Amitabh Bachchan's example is not completely perfect here because he's one of a kind person. At this age, he's in his 70s now, must be 75 now, but his sound, his voice is still really manly. Today also when he says, "Hi, हम और आप खेलेंगे कौन बनेगा करोड़पति," people still know it's Amitabh Bachchan. But usually, if you see with a lot of other people, as you grow older, your manly voice turns into a childish treble. Childish treble is a childish voice. Okay, childish treble is a childish voice. थोड़ा बच्चे जैसा आवाज हो जाता है, थोड़ा कमजोर थिन आवाज हो जाता है. Pipes and whistles in his sound. These pipes and whistles in his sound are because he breathes a little harder now. He finds it difficult to breathe. सांस लेने में थोड़ा तकलीफ होता है उसको क्योंकि अब वो बूढ़ा होते जा रहा है. And that's why you can listen to those subtle whistling sound in when he breathes. It's also called wheezing sound. Okay, that's what happens to him in his sixth stage. You can say this is from 60 to 70. Now we go on to the last one, the last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history, the last stage of his life. And here his life will end this strange, eventful history. Eventful, you can write the meaning. Eventful means marked by an interesting or exciting event. Marked, M-A-R-K-E-D, marked by an interesting or exciting event. So अपनी लाइफ जो होती है वो बड़ी ही इंटरेस्टिंग और एक्साइटिंग होती है because we go through all the highs and lows in our life, and that is why this history, the story of a life is eventful, and the story finally comes to an end in his second childishness. So if you see the last stage of his life, the old age, is metaphorically compared. Please listen to my terms. I'm using the word metaphorically every now and then because we'll be doing this in one of the activities at home. So just a moment. मेरा phone hang हो गया है. If you can just wait. Yes, we people usually say when a person turns really old, he becomes a child once again. क्योंकि हाथों से प्लेट गिरती है, खाना खा नहीं पाते बराबर से, मुंह से कभी-कभी खाना गिर जाता है. And sometimes when a body leaves all the strength, when it loses all its strength, you are bedridden. You have to, do all your excreta in the bed. And that's how, our childhood is usual, our infant age. So we go back to the infant age and we also say that the circle of life is coming to an end. And mere oblivion. What do you mean by mere oblivion? Mere means only. Mere means only. And the word oblivion, please write the meaning. The word oblivion means the state of being unaware or unconscious. Unaware or unconscious. जैसे कि मैं बता रहा था कि समझ में नहीं आता है कि वॉशरूम जाना है या so you are bedridden and things happen right there in the bed and you can't control it, just like it happens in our first childhood, that is infancy. In his second childishness and mere oblivion, that is just unconsciousness and unawareness. Now this word sans is actually a French word which is pronounced as sans, and in English the same word is pronounced as sans. Because we're learning English, we'll pronounce it as sans. So it's sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. The word sans or sans in French means without. Please write the meaning. Sans or sans means without. And slowly he loses his teeth, His eyesight becomes feeble. He cannot taste anything, and that's how slowly and gradually he exits the stage that is life, and the journey comes to an end. So I hope that you people had done the activities that I had asked you to do the last time. So I had asked you to do this activity that you can see on the screen, English Workshop Activity 1. Activity 2, I'd asked you to do just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but today you'll do 6 and 7 as well. I'll tell you what to do after today's lecture, but we'll discuss the figures of speech and some poetic devices. Do not worry. You do not have to write it right now because the last lecture I had sent a PDF file to you. In that, you already had all the figures of speech mentioned for the sentences. So I'm just discussing it with you, so you can simply just listen to me and then refer to your PDF files. So the poetic, the tone of the poem is philosophical. ये थोड़ा philosophical poem है. The rhyme scheme of the poem, there is no rhyme scheme, and such a poem is called a free verse. The figures of speech, the first line, all the world's a stage. The figure of speech is metaphor because the world is indirectly compared to a stage. Men and women merely players is once again metaphor because men and women are compared to players. Creeping like snail, the moment you see the word like, comparison made with like, as or so, it becomes simile. So here we are comparing a young boy, school going boy, to a creeping snail. Then sighing like furnace, once again we have like, and that's why when this becomes simile, because the sighing of the lover is compared to the blast of fire in the furnace. With a woeful ballad, this is alliteration because you have with and woeful. The initial sound is W. It is also transferred epithet. Transferred epithet is where the adjective, the word epithet means adjective, where where the word or an adjective is transferred from one noun to the other. And here, the adjective woeful has been transferred from the person, from the youth, from the lover to the ballad. Bearded like the pard is once again simile because a direct comparison is made between leopard. Quick in quarrel, here the figure of speech is alliteration because we have the initial sound of Q being repeated. Seeking the bubble reputation, it's once again metaphor because the reputation is indirectly compared to a bubble, which is short-lived. We are yet to discuss some figures of speech. Then the next one that we have is with eyes severe and beard a formal cut. This is inversion. Inversion is when the lines are not, when the words are not in a correct prose order. So here the correct prose order could be with severe eyes and a beard of formal cut. With severe eyes, this could be the correct thing. His youthful hose, well saved and world to wide, is alliteration because well, W, world, and wide. So the initial sound of W is repeated here. And whistles in his sound is onomatopoeia, because onomatopoeia is about sound. So whistling is a sound. For his shrunk shank is alliteration because the sound of SH is repeated. Second childishness is metaphor because old age is metaphorically compared to his second childishness. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything is repetition because we're repeating the word sans. It's also climax where the ideas are going in an arranged or an ascending order. तो पहले इंसान का दांत जाता है, फिर आग जाता है, धीरे धीरे taste, and then everything. That's climax. So that's how we are done with the poem. I'll give you your homework for the day. Just a moment. So guys, your homework for the day is going to be this activity that you see on the screen on the last page, page number 38. This is activity 7B and 7A. I want you to do 7A and 7B. 7A is very simple. So what is a world compared to stage? So the answer is going to be stage, 7A. B, actors. Who are actors? Men and women are actors. Birth and death is exit, is entrance and exit. Similarly, you will write the metaphors for the other D, E, F, G, and then you'll also write two examples of the figures of speech that you see here on the screen. And you will also finish this table age or act 6 and 7. All right. So that's all you're going to do. Shashikant sir, I'm done.